Episode of Slash Chat Podcast. This is episode 4. And of course we have 4 hosts. So today, hello everyone. I have not slept since 8 o'clock yesterday. We're going to do introductions as always. Starting with, of course, Alex. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
What have you been doing this week?
I've been catching up with a few reviews that I've had to do for the Hardcore Gamer. Constant C, which is sort of a little indie physics platformer. The review for that's up. And later this week, you're going to see the review. Probably later today, you'll see the review. I played a SteamWorld Dig on PlayStation 4, which is the first time I'd played my PlayStation 4 since I got it. It's because there's just been nothing to play. And of course everyone's going to say, well, of course there's something to play. And I'm like, no, there isn't. No, there isn't. There really isn't. I mean, unless, like Knack, no one really liked. Killzone's your typical shooter, and you're left with just the stuff that you can probably just play on PC. All the good stuff on PlayStation 4 right now is multi-platform. But I played that, and I sunk some time into a little bit of Skyrim. I also revisited Just Cause 2 on my PlayStation 3, and I love the hell out of that game because it's I don't know if anyone remembers the old PlayStation 2 or Xbox game Mercenaries, but that's pretty much what Just Cause 2 is. It's like the spiritual successor to Mercenaries. You just blow shit up, run around, shooting guys. It's just has a very... And when it comes to open world games, it's so much better than a lot of other ones. Like, some people would disagree with me when they say, no, it's Grand Theft Auto is better. Well, Grand Theft Auto was slow. Getting around is a pain in the ass. So Just Cause 2, you can use your little grapple arm and fly across the map really easily with your parachute, which helps because the world is enormous. But aside from that, I've also been playing Borderlands 2.
Woohoo!
I've been...
Woo!
Yeah, I've been shooting up psychos and chasing other people through strongholds because they want to jump on couches.
Me.
So
that was me. That was
yeah,
me.
we're in the strong. We'll have the Twitch stream will be uploaded sometime soon, and we're just going through, and someone in the Twitch chat says, "Hey, get an achievement if you jump on all the couches in this place, all 5 couches." So we get to the end of the stage, we finish the next stage, and then we decide to go back. And by we, I mean Kat wanted to go back back to go see the couches, and I had to follow her because otherwise she'd die. So we're just going. I swear, how many times did we go through that stronghold? 2, 3?
At least 3, maybe 4.
We just go back and forth looking for these couches, fighting respawning enemies. And then we realize that there's a big area locked off until we accept a certain mission. So then we go back, accept the mission in Sanctuary, come back, fight the frickin' ninja rat people. And then we finally get to the last...
Yeah.
We get to the last couch, and she's just ecstatic. She's just like a freaking kid in a candy store.
It was
and I'm
amazing.
just watching like...
It was freaking amazing.
Oh, Cat. So I was just dragged along in this little adventure of hers, but she looked so happy, and they're just like, well, she's having a good time, so you can't help but feel a little good about yourself for doing something like that. So it's been
amazing.
It's been a busy week in the realm of gaming for me, so that's why I had so much to say. So
Okie dokie.
Next.
David, what have you been doing this week?
What haven't I been doing this week? Everything from recovering from a very strange leg injury, which I'm just like, that's weird, I can't walk right now.
Ooh.
I mildly tore a muscle in the back of my leg, and it made me not be able to move my leg for a while. Put it on ice for a few days, and I can walk now. Yay,
Good,
not crippled.
Awesome.
Let's see. Put the finishing touches on some of the music I was working on. Put it on my YouTube channel.
The links are down below, by the way.
Absolutely. Played some Minecraft because Cat got a new server, which is awesome. Too much Skyrim, as always.
Or
Been
just
driving me
enough
nuts.
Skyrim.
Very possible.
Too much or just enough.
I'm gonna say just enough.
That's the way.
Added more mods to it to be like, hey, let's try something different. Why not? I played Borderlands 2 with a bunch of my friends, which is insanely crazy because they're playing through it for the first time. I'm playing through it for like the 90th time, just like, yeah, let's go. Let's do this. Jump on buildings and stuff. Yeah, so that's been my week so far. I mean, lots of little things, but they all add up. So, yeah. Next person.
Jeremy, what have you been doing this week?
Fixing your stuff on your server.
Yeah, that's true. We had there was a okay, I'm going to tell the brief story for a second. So there was a minor accident in making my underground fortress that there was a lake above me. And I had hit like 8 blocks and suddenly the entire ceiling had come collapsing down because it was all gravel. And I flipped shit and was like, I don't know how to fix this. So thankfully, someone who's actually like a mega builder in Minecraft was like, don't worry. I got this. I got this. So he come in.
This must have happened after I left, after I sealed myself in my coffin and jumped out. But Jeremy saved the day, apparently.
Yeah. He was
That's
just
awesome.
like,
He just like was it like flooding? Was it like
Oh,
flooding under?
it was flooding, and on top of that, the water glitched. So that it was like anytime you'd hit a block, it wouldn't just like destroy where the water was. The water would go over the block, which meant it kept expanding, and it's not supposed to do that.
Like, I can just imagine you panicking super hard, and Jeremy's just like, I got this.
It's like, well, because I started building Rapture from BioShock.
Oh, nice.
Underwater, and yeah, and after a couple of weeks, I realized I was stupid and should have done it differently to start with. So I got used to building underwater and fixing that problem. What I realized later is what I should have done is built Rapture on like a super flat and then flooded it instead of trying to build it underwater.
Okay, so other than fixing my Minecraft, what have you been doing?
Building a giant fortress in Minecraft. Oh, by the way,
Minecraft's not
Minecraft.
addictive at all. You can stop anytime you want.
by the way, be careful
wanna-
going into my fortress now because I started putting in booby traps.
Oh,
Sweet.
no.
I noticed.
Now I have to go
Thanks.
explore because I want to see them.
Oh, did somebody get buried in gravel?
Oh, cat
No,
got trolled.
I flipped the switch and immediately ran backwards. So, and then as the gravel fell, I was like, oh, that's where the gravel was. I expected
got
lava.
trolled.
I had a bucket of water in my hand.
I didn't feel like carrying lava yet. That's the only
but-
reason it was gravel. Instead
Here's a
of lava.
problem with your booby trap, though. Because as soon as I flipped the switch, the door opened to get inside your entire house. And as I was leaving, I couldn't flip the switch back so that the doors would close again. So they were left open, FYI.
That switch doesn't have anything to do with the doors.
I managed to get in somehow. It's all I know is I flip switches.
Yeah, that switch isn't remotely connected to that. You hit something else that opens the doors, but I'm not telling you what it was.
God damn it. Okay. What
So
else
now I
have you
had
been
to
doing
go
this
Extra
week?
block, baby.
Work, training, conditioning coach gave me a workout to do that, yeah, it's going to get me in shape quickly, but oh my god, does it suck. It started with 50 push-ups, 40 squats, and 15 pull-ups, and kept going from there, and I had to get it done for time. So, I think it was like 16 minutes and something it took me to get all of it done. So, but I couldn't move for like an hour after I was done. I felt really good after that, but for about an hour after he was done, I was like, ooh.
Lord. Okay.
So are you ready for what I did this week?
What did you do this week?
Failed at Minecraft.
Well, partly my week has consists of everyone here. So I played Borderlands 2 with Alex.
Yeah, she did.
Screwed up my Minecraft server, in which Jeremy helped me fix.
Yeah, she did.
And then didn't have D&D last week because someone slept in.
Hey, I was there half an hour early, and everyone's just like, "Oh, he's not coming." Everyone is usually late.
I messaged you at the time of and said, "Hey, are you here? Are we?"
I
having
sent
a game?"
messages back, being like, "I'm here. Don't go."
Can't
You sent
lay
me
off. You can't. You're late all the time at stuff. Lay off.
No. But yeah, that was actually kind of frustrating because normally I'm there like an hour early, and sometimes Kat's there early, but everyone else turns up like 5 minutes after. So I'm like, all right, I can sleep in for a little bit. It'll be fine. Wake up half an hour before time's supposed to be the deadline, and but everyone's like, oh, you weren't here, so we're going to do stuff.
Did you move it that it was like an hour later?
Nope.
Because
Always for us 10 o'clock.
Because it's supposed to be 6 a.m. for me. I messaged you at 6 a.m. Did not get a reply until 6:20.
Really? Okay, because on my Skype thing, the messages you sent me were like almost an hour and a bit beforehand. Weird.
We're gonna have to correlate that for next game.
Absolutely.
So, but, I also this week. Are you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Are you guys
Sure.
ready for this? I literally just 10 minutes ago got this.
What is that?
What is the geek?
Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
So we're gonna open it. Because this is consistent of like what my week has been because I got it 10 minutes ago.
This is a Twitch exclusive, people.
Yes, it is. It's very much so. Okay, so this nifty little thing right here. I love this thing. This is a cup holder. And it's supposed to be like so that your cups never spill. So you pretty much you stand there and you hold it like this and your cups never spill. Nice.
Okay.
Fuck physics.
Hey!
First box. Ready? Ready? First box.
Just ignore the fact that how are you supposed to make it not spill like that? But
I don't know. Okay,
We'll
so
find
it's a
out.
mug. And it says, "You read my mug, that's enough social interaction for one day."
Sounds about right for you.
It is right.
that does sound about right for her.
Okay, now where am I going to put this? I'll just put it back. Okay. Are you ready for this? Box number 2.
Someone went on a shopping spree.
Oh look, another mug.
Why you got so many mugs?
It's the caffeine mug.
Oh, okay, the chemical formula.
Yes. Okay. Are you ready for box 2?
Sure.
Or box 3, rather.
I don't know. I lost count.
Oh look, it's another mug.
Why do you
another-
have so many mugs?
It's another caffeine mug.
Because she doesn't like doing dishes.
Yeah, just I won't do the dishes. I'll just buy new ones.
Okay, are you ready for, this is what?
How many frickin' boxes are there?
Box 4. Ready for box 4, if I can figure out how to open this thing.
Don't you have bills to pay?
Oh look, it's a
not.
thermos
Of course not.
that also has the caffeine formula on it.
That's more practical than all of the mugs. Who? Yeah.
Okay. Box 5.
The cup set. Did that say? Someone needed a lot of cups.
It's the Control-Alt-Delete cup mugs. So, and then
Someone
to
needs
process what exactly she was trying to do with all
Minecraft.
this stuff that she bought.
Box 6?
drink from them.
That would be my guess.
Box 6?
Are you like giving them to people or just for you?
They're just mine.
Because you know
Thank
that's
you.
awesome.
Okay, because logic is for dweebs.
Looky! It's a creeper mug.
Okay, that's dangerous because those things blow up. I know that well.
You know what's awesome though?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, we need to figure out if this works. Because there is formula in here for a cup of coffee.
To see if it works in the game.
Yeah, because it's like one thing lava, one thing cocoa, sugar, milk, and water.
Can you even find all those things in the game?
Yes.
Yeah, they're all in the
cocoa?
game.
Okay.
Yeah. They're in jungles.
Okay. Let's. Okay.
And for the last item, are you ready for it? Can you guess what it is?
Some sort of keyring.
It's not a mug. It can't be a mug. If it was a mug. Oh God, her face. Oh God, that frickin' face. Oh my God.
No,
What kind
it's
of
elfin
mug?
ear cuffs.
That's
That's not a
awesome.
mug.
No.
Why didn't you show that first? On to this little mug journey that eventually didn't end in a mug.
I want to make a really bad pun about mugging right now, but
Aw.
it's beneath me.
Too bad you just did.
Technically, I didn't.
Well, yeah, technically, but you know, we're rounding up here. So.
Okay, so chat has asked, in the end, was it worth it, Alex? And he meant by saying following me around.
Was it worth it?
Yeah.
Well, of course it was. I just didn't realize it until after it all happened.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just
Better
chasing
late
her.
than never.
Just chasing her, just while she's running around, and jumping, and dying, and then she gets to the couch and she's just, oh my God, it was surreal. Like this surreal epiphany, just watching her, because she's so happy when that happens. She was so happy.
It's so true.
It's like something out of a frickin' Louis C.K. episode.
It was so
But
true.
you don't know how to react to that.
Okay.
So, to answer your question,
yes.
yes. It just took me a while to realize it.
Another thing that was posted in chat was, I don't know if any of you noticed, but earlier we had a problem with the server. It randomly went down and we had a lot of block glitches, like block lag. Apparently the server got DDoS'd. So that
I'm not surprised.
said by the person who actually runs my server. So just letting you guys know, for any server at the time, that's what happened. Also,
That was crazy.
Grim says, no, you cannot make coffee. He tried it in creative mode. That was
Well, that's a lie. I mean, not his lie, but the box lie.
But
You should be able to do that.
Now they're making fun of me for breaking the server due to mugs.
Well, yeah.
Mugs will do that, you know.
Oh. Thank you, Taz. Thank you, Grim. That was quite entertaining. Okay, so for those of you who are just joining us for the first time ever watching a /chat podcast, switch this back. This is called the topic hat. Get it? It's a top hat, and there's topics
Oh,
inside the hat.
puns. Oh,
See?
puns.
See? Yeah.
it's such a punishing experience.
Oh dear.
I know, right?
Okay, so we're gonna choose at random a topic. See, look. We're going at random. Random.
Yeah, at rant. Yeah.
See? No, like I'm serious. Look though. Like there's no hidden gimmicks. There's quite literally like me.
Your camera just died, by the way.
What?
So you know.
I'm fine.
What?
My camera's fine.
There it goes. For me, like it just went to your button image.
So,
That was
first
all.
topic of discussion. David, what is your story?
Wow,
this
I never
has
saw
been an
this one
ongoing
coming.
joke for this entire week, by the way. FYI.
I know, I saw the Twitter.
So, David,
I was
what
just
is
like,
your
do I
story?
message back? Oh, well, that's a long.
You better say something, David, because
story.
you've had a week. You've known about this for a week, so you better deliver.
The week
And
is more about
deliver.
mulling over how much to tell and where to start. So, it depends what you want to know about me. You got to be a little more specific
Were you hatched
before I
from
start
an
rattling
egg?
on stuff. No, although I guess maybe technically, because ovaries are kind of like eggs. All right. From the beginning, my story, from a nutshell. Stay with me, because it may be a little bit depressing in the beginning. Just saying. All right, so my story, mostly up until I was about 8, I have no memories. They're all blocked out from horrible childhood experiences and really bad things that I won't go into because that's kind of personal. But then after about that period, I start remembering things. School was always shitty for me because I was always like, I don't care about this shit, blah, 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 depression, kind of horrible. So I finally sort of came into my own probably around about eighth grade when I started actually, meeting more people, talking to them, and I discovered a game called Dungeons and Dragons, which took me from the guy that would sit in the corner and be like, don't talk to me, I'm over here, to running games for people that I've never met before and being able to talk to people and being able to do videos and all that sort of stuff. So, I mean, that was the big turning point in my life, was getting introduced to that, very strangely. Since then, I mean, I bounced around different courses and stuff trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, which took a while and was kind of painstaking as it gets.
Sorry.
So, picking new courses, dropping out of courses, and just wasting time in general. Then I decided to, talk to some people and be like, I need to know what to do with my life. We'll figure it out. That took a little while, and then I decided I want to go into security because I like helping people. I don't want to be the guy at the door that's like, oh, no, we can't go over here. I'm the guy that's there to help people, make sure they're safe, make sure if people need something done, it gets done, whatever. So that's my life, basically. When I'm not doing videos and talking to you guys, specifically, like the 4 here and then the other people online, I'm working. And if I'm working, I'm doing my job where I'm helping people, making sure they're safe while they're wherever I am, doing first aid if it's needed, all sorts of crap. And that's just kind of my story. I recently discovered I have a knack for writing music, so I started doing that. Because I spent a lot of time on them, which I guess is expected, because if you don't spend a lot of time on something, it doesn't really work. Yeah, and today I'm where I am now, doing what I'm trying to do the best as I can. Anyway, that's me in a very shortened story without talking about all the depressive crap in the beforehand.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I still say you were hatched from like an egg and a crocodile egg and put in a kangaroo pouch.
That is more interesting.
So
Good, we know his story. Can
that's
we
my story.
stop this running joke now?
Maybe when I know you a little better.
Or do we
I'll
have
go
to
into more
come back
details.
to it at one point in case something changes?
So Alex, what is David's story?
I don't know. I wasn't listening. No, it was about how he found D&D. He got into security.
No. We have to answer this. When you get a question from the hat, we all have to answer this.
I gave
What
you
do
my
you
answer
think it
just
was?
now, and now we're gonna move on.
Jeremy, What is David's story?
Many eons ago in a galaxy far, far.
like that.
You know you're gonna get a good story when it starts with that.
Oh yeah.
Unless it's episode 1. Anyway.
Ooh. You just burn.
Bird.
Chad has asked, Alex, what is your story?
Why? My story sucks. Why do you want to know? Person in the chat who I don't know who you are.
It's Grim, by the way.
Whoever that is.
He's on the server.
What? My story?
Your story.
Oh. Okay, let me think. Long time ago.
In a galaxy far away.
Yeah, the galaxy called the Milky Way. I don't know. It would be cool to.
There you go, there you are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say this is my story. My story is going to be told some other time.
When you had more time to think about it. Oh yeah.
I'll tell it to these guys. I won't tell it to you, Twitch, because I don't trust you, Twitch. You guys could be using that against me in some way. It could be someone I know from school who's just trying to
Come
get
on.
back at
Come
me.
on.
You know, some of you people. I know you people from high school. You guys were dicks. Seriously, yeah, there were a lot. Yeah, I know
Go
you.
on.
Yeah, you think it's funny? You think it's funny making fun of me and all my pals at the frickin' lunch table? You think that's funny? Well, guess what, people? I have a college degree. You probably don't.
Ooh. Someone's trying to put
Put
your
in-
ears on.
So yeah, there's my story, Twitch. You'll learn about it when it gets made into a movie, and the movie will win an Oscar. Your movie won't win an Oscar.
Hey, looky.
I like how she wasn't even listening. She was just
No,
doing that.
I wasn't.
Just trying to put him on.
That's what I would be concerned, Kat. I'd be like, are you okay? You're acting different. You're acting out of your element. Back at the cat in the hat.
So, what was that?
I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, Grim.
I didn't catch any of that.
Disclaimer.
Well, he did say in chat, you don't know me, Alex. You make me sad.
Yeah, I don't. If I knew you, I'd probably, be nicer to you. Stranger danger.
Stranger danger. Oh, dear God. Oh. So,
That's okay.
Chad, there once lived a tiger that had died, and a crocodile ate the tiger, and had crocodile eggs. The end.
Okay.
Thank you, Chad.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Hey.
Seriously, that's like B-movie stuff.
I had it sideways. Okay.
We should watch. I swear, that's worse than the Zombievers movie. I want to see the Zombievers movie. Zombie beavers. I'm not kidding. There's a real movie where there are zombie beavers, and then at the end of the trailer, a human female turns into one of them, so she like sprouts buck teeth, and I'm like, okay, this was like campy and funny until you got to that part. That's just dumb.
Okay. New topic.
Why?
Well, now we're gonna call the name of this episode something like that, or something related to David's story.
Yep, it'll be something related to David's story.
Okay.
So,
next.
New topic. Topic: TV shows, aka current.
What
Alex,
is this? 1997?
Yep. What TV shows are you watching?
Gonna party like it's 1990.
Who watches TV anymore?
Do you not watch TV?
I watch it on my computer while I'm playing games.
Yeah, that's pretty much what the most of us do. I mean, well,
Still
whose turn
counts,
is it? Do I
apparently.
go first?
Yeah.
I do?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Go.
I don't watch much TV because Well, it's mostly because the thing with live TV is you kind of gotta adjust your schedule to it, and I just don't have many shows that I watch that are worth setting aside that much time and abiding by the schedule. There's not really many I can get excited about. Space Dandy on Saturday nights on Toonami, because you can't watch that anywhere else because it's debuting on that station. You can't like go watch it on Crunchyroll because it premieres in America before it watch it. But it's really funny, and it's made by the guy who made Cowboy Bebop. Only this is more of a comedy. It reminds me a lot of Futurama because it takes these sort of very scientific ideas like physics and all these really very serious sci-fi ideas, but it's also very playful with them. It's very funny. The characters are great. And like the last episode, there was a character who was trying to solve this question of the universe, like the secrets of the universe kind of stuff. So he has all these formulas all over the place, and one of the characters, the main character, Space Dandy, who loves going to this this bar called Boobies with which all these buxom women serving you drinks and stuff. So he gets this piece of paper and he draws like a really crude set of tits on it. How this piece of paper gets into the hands of this guy doing all these formulas, and he interprets this drawing of boobs as some key to the equation. And by completely random, stupid chance, like the secrets of the universe are revealed through this, and it's so dumb, but it's really funny. It's just clever in how it sort of this comedic juxtaposition. It's really good. But other than that, I don't watch much TV. I get most of my entertainment from YouTube channels. I don't even watch Netflix too much. It's mostly just YouTube because that's where I find all the gaming channels. I watch all the stuff on Normal Boots. I watch like Angry Video Game Nerd. I watch all those things that you only see on YouTube. The last big I got involved with was Breaking Bad, but that was really good. I mean, that's something that everyone was really focused on because it was this big conclusion to this series that everyone had no idea how it would end. But I don't watch much TV. It's just because the idea that you have to watch it at a certain time is a little inconvenient to me, I guess.
David, what
TV shows I
Australian
watch.
TV shows are you watching?
I kind of watch more American TV shows because Australian TV is shit.
Fair enough.
Just telling you now.
What do you watch?
Our actors are
American
horrible.
shows.
Just today. I watch a lot of The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones. I marathoned like all of Breaking Bad like a couple months ago because I was like, hey, this show's kind of awesome, and it's over. Watch all of it. I watch, on top of all those, all the Avatar stuff. So like Avatar, Last Airbender, and Legend of Korra. I watched all those, and they're funny and awesome and great. Walking Dead's my favorite though. Definitely.
Why
my
does
favorite.
the main character of Legend of Korra look like a man?
Body looks kind of like a guy.
You're kind of right, kind of.
Yeah.
But
it's
man,
just the art.
Kat was wearing her little Avatar shirt yesterday, and she
Still
still is. That one.
Yeah.
That's kind of a clever shirt, actually.
That is
the
pretty
joke
cool.
that they're making. That's a clever joke, I'll admit.
Walking Dead is like by far my favorite. A couple of my friends on Skype that I talk to when we play like zombie games and stuff, because of my name is Carl, they're like, "Stay in the house, Carl." I'm like, "Shut up!" all the time. They won't stop. But there you go.
Some jokes just
That makes
never
that more enjoyable. But at the same time, it's funny.
It's the kind of stuff that like. There are T-shirts that just say "Stay in the house, Carl."
Yeah. So worth it, I guess.
Next.
So Jeremy, what TV are you watching? Or enjoying, or have enjoyed?
Most of the stuff.
Your
I
microphone
can't hear
keeps
you.
muting.
Yeah, it's kind of cutting out a little bit.
Can you hear me
Just a
now?
little bit.
Yep.
Did it?
It cut out again.
Yep.
Okay, that's because I was moving. What you broke in my house. Yeah. I was watching the Blacklist. You have to watch at a certain time. It's like, I don't watch at a certain time. I watch whenever I feel like it. I'll still catch reruns of House sometimes. I did start watching Breaking Bad, but I'm kind of pacing myself on that one because I want to enjoy the series. And it was funny that you mentioned Futurama because I just started doing a marathon of Team Fortress and Minecraft.
Futurama's just it's really smart. I mean, that's amazing writing, and just the idea that they're able to take these completely impenetrable scientific ideas and theories and make them funny to everyone is just really cool.
All you need is the wacky scientist.
Farnsworth is the best because he's so insane, and he's and just like one of my favorite. He's so senile. And Grandpa Simpson from The Simpsons because they're just so.
Yeah.
They're just so out of touch with everything. Literally out of touch. It's.
Mm-hmm.
So.
What? Or however he talks.
TV
Cat TV.
Cat TV. You're currently watching Cat TV.
Yeah, we are.
So what I've been watching, Dracula, which is the new series with Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, which is amazing. A little like Jump the Shark-ish based on the history of...
A little?
Okay, so Van Helsing's working with Dracula to begin with. Say that. So...
Repeat my statement. A little?
A little? Yeah, just a little. So watching Reign, which is really good. It's about Queen Mary of Scots. Very sci-fi, or not sci-fi, but like fantasy, supernatural, but with the medieval. Let's see. Watched the first episode of the new Vikings season 2. That was amazing. Absolutely amazing. If you guys haven't watched Viking, you need to go watch it. It was on the History Channel and it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And then of course, waiting April 6th for the new Game of Thrones. Yeah. That'll be awesome. Can't wait. Can't wait. Just can't wait.
Can you wait?
No, I can't wait. What else? I've been watching a lot of anime. I don't know if that really considers TV, though.
Anime is TV.
I guess.
It's just
if
anime
it's on your TV.
Yeah, I guess. I've been watching a lot of anime, though. But as for TV shows, those are, like, mainly it. So, yeah. That's been the TV I've been watching. Also... Hannibal has gotten really good, and I started watching that again. I need to catch up to where they are at right now, but I need to watch. So. I hear an echo. Does anyone else hear an echo?
I do not.
I'm echoed. Oh well. On to the next topic. Why watch a documentary on Vikings when you can go to Sweden? That's so true. Because the documentary is actually not so much a documentary as it is, like, an amazing show.
And because traveling to Sweden is a little expensive.
That is true.
Yeah.
Okay, next
And Kat spends all her money on mugs.
Hey. Listen here. The reason I had all those mugs was because ThinkGeek had buy one, get one for 50% off. On top of, because it was Pi Day, you got 20% off of $40 or more. So imagine...
Yeah, but why did you buy mugs?
Because they were buy one, get one free. I was saving a shit ton of money.
Do you need mugs?
Yeah, actually.
Why did you buy so many?
Because they're awesome.
Yeah.
Moving on. moving on. I'm losing this argument.
You're arguing with a woman. You're going to lose no matter what.
Oh God, and not just a woman, but cat. Oh God, what am I doing?
Okay, so
What
next
are you
topic.
doing?
Losing an argument. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, next target.
Next topic.
Yeah.
What game do you hate the
Oh.
Alex, you're starting this one off.
What game do I hate the most? I have trouble. I don't really like hate any games. It's just I hate the people who think that it's the best game ever when they're clearly wrong. But as far as just bad games, it's hard because I don't usually play bad games too much. Did we lose someone?
We did. We lost Cardinal.
Where'd he go?
I don't know.
Guess I'll.
There you go. He joined.
Didn't go get his camera.
Yeah. But Grand Theft Auto is the greatest game ever, and it has a lot of problems. It's not that good, and we lost him again. Like, that's distracting, David. I guess we'll wait for him to get back, or it'll give me time to think. Well, I mean, my biggest games that are straight up bad. One of the worst games I played is Never Dead for the frickin' 360. That was terrible. Like, it was I don't know if anyone in the chat has played Never Dead, but it's a game where you play as a guy who has immortality. So if you get hit hard enough, your body explodes. So what you have to do is you have to roll around as a disembodied head to pick up your body parts and reconstruct yourself. And it's a lot like Devil May Cry with the shooting and the swords and stuff. But the problem is, at first, just rolling around as a disembodied head is funny, especially later in the game. You have to go around and pick up all your limbs again. So it's like picking up all of your stuff and then someone just slapping it out of your hand and making you pick it up. It's just a terrible, terrible game. And I swear it's one of the worst games I've ever played. I also hate like Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis on GBA, but that's because that's a freaking broken port. But I honestly, even some of the worst games of all time, like Big Rigs, I just look at that and think it's funny that actually got on the market because it's so terribly unfinished. But I have more problems with the overrated games than I do with the straight-up bad ones. Like, I think Grand Theft Auto is overrated. There are infinite number of open-world games that are more fun than, like, Grand Theft Auto 5. And everyone's going to get on my case for that. But that's my opinion. So, David, what's the worst game you've played?
The worst game I've played. I think it's a tie between Genesis. Yeah. It's a tie between those two.
What don't you like about Battlefield 3? What don't you like
the campaign?
I'm just. I don't even know.
It's railroaded to the point where if you step out of line even like an inch, you're instantly killed by things constantly. It's ridiculous.
I don't even know why they put a campaign in that game because no one plays that for the campaign.
Well, I bought it for the campaign because I'm like, I like these sorts of games. Not anymore. And then with games from Genesis, like, oh, they're so horrible. It's obviously a console game, the way the controls were working. I don't have a controller at that point, and it was horrible. So every time I try to change the keyboard settings, it's just like, nope. Nope. Just nope. And that sucks. So I could only get like minutes into the game, and it would infuriate me because like the first fight in the game, which is supposed to be a cakewalk, I'm like, oh, I've died with a vengeance.
So that's the worst game you played?
Yes. Yes. I'm lenient on games, but takes a lot to be.
What's the worst game you've played?
I'm trying to remember the name of it because it was on Nintendo.
Well, Nintendo had a lot of bad games on that system.
Yeah, I seem to luck out and not buy too many of them, know.
Yeah, that's smart.
It was one where you had to fly around in some kind of spaceship and hook up the random things with like a spaceship or something. I don't know. It was kind of annoying. I don't know. I think I just really can't think of too many games I've played that I've actually just hated. There are parts of games I don't like in Half-Life 2, when I have to do all the driving. I didn't get the second Half-Life game because I wanted to drive around in a go-kart, drive around a boat. You know, that kind of thing can annoy me, but I still enjoy the game itself. I don't like when games have the always online mandate when there's no reason for it and it causes problems in the game. Like I lost all my save files on BioShock 2 because of something screwing up with what was it called? It's not Xbox Live, but it was the sort of the precursor to that. Games that were just flat out terrible. I'm trying to think of one. And I'm really not coming up with anything. Yeah, I can't think of any games that I thought were flat out terrible. I can think of plenty of parts of games that I hated. But as far as games I've played that I just flat out hated, I can't really think of one.
Nothing wrong with that. It's fine.
Yeah,
It means you're more lenient.
Yeah, you're
More
either
forgiving.
lenient or you just avoid the bad stuff altogether. Which
That's
either
true.
one of those are good, I guess.
I'm trying to think, like, what's the worst game I've played? Or what game do I hate the most?
Assassin's Creed on the PC, the first one.
Oh dear God. Oh dear God. That's a love-hate relationship, honestly. That is truly a love-hate relationship because the first 20 minutes of trying to get that thing to work just could not work. Like literally. Pop cans
I don't think it
down.
had controller support.
Okay.
Or it had partial controller support.
So this is an Xbox controller that is hooked into my I was about to say my PlayStation. My PC. So
feet.
these correlate to the buttons that were in the corner of the screen. So when I hit this, it should be the same button on the screen. This was the only one that was correct. This one was over here. This one was over here. This one was there. And halfway through the game, I tried changing the settings and they all switched around on me. And then I could
Damn.
only to look around. I mean, I wanted to just throw it against a brick wall. Like, I was so pissed off. I was just like, oh dear God.
Yeah, we know, we saw.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Flip
So
table.
bad.
The
But,
table.
I'm trying to think, like, what was the game I absolutely really did hate the most? Dark was terrible. I think
Dark was pretty bad.
I hate that game almost as equally as I hate, like, that situation with... But Dark was just generally terrible. Like, it was a terrible game. It was just a bad experience to begin with. I don't know. I see, I'm very picky at playing games. I don't just, like, pick a game and play it. I actually have to sit down and be like, okay, do I want to play this game? Does it look good? Does it have elements that I like? Like, I just can't... I can't be like, oh, hey, this game is 99 cents. I can't do it. I don't know why. It's why, like, a lot of the games that I have on Steam, I'm
It's
like,
because they don't have pretty graphics, that's why.
that is so true. Hush you.
Oh yeah.
Back to that,
Owned.
right?
Owned.
But yeah. No, I'm just like, there's a couple games that I've gotten frustrated with, but never did. Well, okay, let's put it this way. What game has caused you the most trouble but was worth it in the end? Alex.
like stress.
Yeah, like it just put you under stress, and like you were like 8 hours later, you were still fighting with this thing. It was so frustrating, but yet you were accomplished at the end of it.
Is this a real question? Should I answer it since I'm first?
Yeah, that's like the sub question to like what game did you hate the most?
Well, I that would probably be Super Meat Boy. Because that was a game that going in, I heard it was like super difficult, and for me, I when I'm playing a difficult game, one that I know I can do, I don't like stopping playing a game out of the difficulty. Like if a game is super hard, I don't just stop playing for a while because it's still on my mind, and I know I can, and I don't feel any sort of relief until I finish it. And I cannot 100% Super Boy. I never will, because there was this one level that I just could not finish. Because you have like 3 lives. You got to get there in 3 lives, and you can't fuck up at all. And I know it was difficult. There were a lot of times, and I swear, Super Meat Boy is one of those games where at the end, every time you beat a level, it replays all the times that you failed simultaneously. So you see thousands of your characters just dying over and over again. But when you finish these levels, it's just, you just feel accomplished. And I think that's any good, difficult game can do that, give you a sense of reward and make it so all of this hard work was worth it in the end. And it puts you in a bad mood. You're so frustrated, and you make these, but I don't regret playing Super Meat Boy at all. It's an amazing game. It's hard as shit, but it's worth every bit of frustration in it. So that's my experience.
David, what's yours?
It's my same way, but I've never really had any game that's been so hard to beat that it's frustrating. Whatever, like whenever I've had a problem and I'm like, I could solve this, I will take like a minute, calm the fuck down, and then just finish it, and I'll be done with it within like a minute or less, probably. That's just how I deal with stuff now. So I've never had a game frustrate me to any point, really. Yeah, strange, right? That's just me.
Probably Secret World, because there were a lot of puzzles that were just super hard, like watching a car's headlights flash and translating the Morse code in real time. And, that was fun.
Hated that quest.
So much fun.
So badly.
I really enjoyed it in the end because I felt like it wasn't a game that just challenged my reflexes like some MMOs do, or my patience with sitting there and collecting, as one of my friends put it, collecting bear asses all night.
Like bear asses as in the animal, the bear, or bear as in just naked asses? Or naked bear asses.
In some MMOs, it might be a little of all three. But
a clothed bear ass.
Yes.
As opposed to a bear ass.
Yes. I had a lot of fun with that. And it was very rewarding at the end because, yeah, I could have just gone online and looked up all the spoilers, but I actually figured out the puzzle myself. I don't get frustrated by too many video games, because if I get frustrated, I just stop playing and I go grab something else, because I do this for enjoyment and entertainment. If it's stressing me out, it's no longer serving its purpose. I need to find a different game. It's part of why, several of the times I quit World of Warcraft, I quit, and that was just frustrating, and I didn't want to do it anymore. So, that can kind of make the game frustrating, and then I just usually quit. And I'll go play something else, because I'm not in this for an ego trip. I'm in this because I want to have fun.
Okay, so let's see. Most frustrating but rewarding game. I really almost want to say Dot Hack Infection. Because that game was so tedious with what you had to do and like all the dungeons you had to run through that a lot of the time I'd get so freaking frustrated with it. I was just like, I'm done. I'm not playing this game. I'm done. And then I would like turn around and be like, oh my god. Like, holy crap. Like, I just finished this dungeon. I thought I had like 10 more levels and the bosses were so freaking hard. I'm sure if I play Dark Souls, that'll be the new thing. Because I hear that's ridiculous. So I'm going to be like, one of these days, play Dark Souls, and you'll see me. I found my new frustrating game.
I've heard it can be incredibly frustrating with all
Yeah.
deaths everywhere.
I think though, like most MMOs though, I have that. Where it's like, it's really frustrating. You do raid bosses like night after night after night, but like getting that one piece of gear, you're just like, oh my god, this was just totally worth it. And then some nights you're just like, F this. And let's see, yeah. I quit playing World of Warcraft because the raid just did not become worth it anymore. Quit playing Final Fantasy 14 for a while because I got kicked out of my raid group for not being at raid Christmas. That was lovely. Yeah, that was definitely very frustrating when they were like, no, you had to raid on Christmas. I'm like, no, I have a life, I have family, sorry.
Yeah, it's called Christmas.
It's called Christmas. But no, a lot of times
They
that's
think
what
it's Raidsmas.
Raidsmas. Yeah, really. Chat says, any game where it's nothing but fetch quests. I'm not a fucking delivery boy. Does
Unless
chess
they make a
count?
Futurama MMO, then you might actually be a delivery boy.
That is true. That is true. Does chess count? I got my ass beat in that all the time. I don't know if chess... That kind of does, but doesn't. That's
still a
always a
game.
frustrating game.
No, it's not. It's easy.
That game's frustrating. I hate playing chess. I have a love.
I'm
What was
really
that?
good at chess, so
Yeah,
I never found it frustrating.
I was gonna say, weren't you like chess club captain or something?
No, we didn't have one of those at our school.
Oh. If they did, you would be it.
No, because I hate being in charge of things. I just keep ending up being in charge of things, whether I want to or not. It's frustrating.
Ha ha ha. So another
See what I did there?
thing for you could probably be a D&D game. Because you're always in charge and it's always frustrating. Okay. So, topic 4. This is interesting. This is
Bring
an
it.
interesting topic. And this is actually from one of the chat people. So, we actually
Oh.
had something that wasn't us for once. So, question. Pet or companion from any, who would it be? It can't be characters like Sonic or Bowser, in which I mean like probably main characters. It has to be either a pet or a companion from a fantasy universe. Who would you have? What would you pick? Alex, you're going with like the Chows, aren't you?
Yeah, fuck the chows. I don't care if they die. I know what my answer is, but I don't know. I kind of want to show it to people. I know we can't really show it in the chat, but there's this certain a Pokemon that I just think is freaking awesome, and his name is Scraggy. He's this
Scraggy?
Scraggy or Zaru, but he's this little tiny lizard dude, and he has this and kind of the theme of him is that he has this shedded skin that he always has to pull up like his pants are falling down, and he has to hold them up all the time. He's a dark and fighting type, and the kind of idea behind him is he's like one of those little street kids who wears their pants really loose and always has to pull them up. And it sounds so dumb because I kind of was I wasn't like a street kid, but when I was a kid I always had a problem with like my pants were loose, and I know that's like a stupid thing to say, but he has this sort of derpy face. He kind of has these big eyes and this kind of like overbite kind of thing, but he's just a cool Pokemon, and he's so cute. And I swear that if I had one Pokemon, it would be him, because he's just so freaking adorable that he's pulling his freaking skin pants up all the time. And when he evolves, he gets like a mohawk. His evolved form has like a mohawk, and it's spelled Scraggy, SCRAGGY. If you search for it on Google, you'll find it, unless you find that creepy image that someone did by just giving him a giant dick. And that don't search on Google Images. You might not be happy with what you see. If you are happy, well, that's your life's choice. But just don't search on Google Images. I swear that should be like one of the laws on the internet. Don't look on Google Images. You will always find Rule frickin' 34 or whatever. I don't know. And I don't know. I remember I like drew a really dumb picture of Scraggy. Like I don't know why I doodle it, but it's freaking adorable. It's this little he's like a little tiny guy. He's like really small, but that's my choice. The Scraggy Pokemon. David, go ahead, save us from.
Okay.
I'm looking up images of this Scraggy thing right now, and I'm like, what?
Oh, he's so adorable, and he's such a freaking
What?
derpy Pokemon.
Pets or companions? Can companions be people?
As long as it was a companion and not a main character.
Yeah, like a
Okay, yeah.
pet human, pet person.
I would consider something like from Final Fantasy where they were an NPC. Something like that.
I don't know, really. I've never really put any thought into anything like that, but they would have to be extremely useful and do everything for me. Willingly.
I can't think of what her name is from Skyrim. Your pack mule.
The one I accidentally murdered today? Or...
Yeah.
I accidentally
dead,
kill
so not
her all the
much use.
time.
Yeah, accidentally.
Oh, I had
But
one of the
really, she
random
gets
people
in the
from the
way.
companions hall. They get in the way all the time. All they're supposed to do is stand back and carry your not die. God damn it. Now who's gonna carry my shit? Not the horse. Yeah, I don't know. Pick a random person. You mentioned Skyrim, so I'm thinking people from there. Lydia, then, because she carries all your shit and is like, I'll serve and protect you. It's all good. So yeah.
I actually, my character in that game actually married her. So
Even better.
The person who takes care of my house is also my wife in that game. And I'm like, now I can't bring you into battle because I don't want my wife to die. So I'll just get other people to fight for me. And then sacrifice them at the altar. For
Makes the choice even better then, doesn't it?
So Jeremy, what companion or pet would you have?
Well, my first thought, again, showing my age. You remember The Legend of Zelda, the first one?
Yeah, the one that gave you all the hearts?
Yeah, that thing, because then no matter how much I hurt myself doing crazy crap, I'll always be okay.
Yeah, if you die, they'll...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that kind of goes to that healing factor discussion we had, was it last week or the week before?
Last week, when everyone's superpower was the exact same except for me.
Well, of course. Kind of like when everyone said you needed pretty graphics.
Right?
Because you're a girl. But if, like, the Guardian Forces and stuff from the Final Fantasy games count, I don't know, what was the name? Diablos from Final Fantasy VIII would be a lot of fun, because who doesn't want to their enemies with a black hole?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Good news, everyone!
Yep.
So, I've thought about this quite a bit. Are you ready for my list?
Oh, God.
Yeah. If you
Well,
could
there
have,
goes the next hour.
if you could have one companion, and
One?
Cat just changes. You have your whole party figured out. Is that
I
really
do.
what you're trying-
Well,
Well,
if it
explain
can be
to us what
multiples,
your-
I mean,
what is your party? What is
Okay. So my party is ready. First, we're gonna start with Mew, because who doesn't like Mew? And Mew is so cute. Mew is the most adorable Pokemon ever. Hush you, Alex. It is.
Well,
Two.
I didn't say anything.
But you were just thinking it loudly.
It's completely true. I was thinking that she's totally wrong.
Okay.
But I didn't say anything until just now.
So 2, the mini Deathwing, that was the companion from World of Warcraft when you bought the Cataclysm Collector's Edition. So cute.
You bought a
So
collector's edition? Wow, that's so unlike you.
Looky, he's on the back of my.
Collector's edition.
So cute. So yeah. So we'd have the telepathic one, we'd have the fighter one, and then companion. Kingdom Hearts as like the leader of the party, so he'd be like everyone. He'd be like, you would be the leader of the group. I don't know though. I have such a long list that I'm just like, I can't think of my favorites. I'm just kind of like generalizing right now.
Decisive again, I'm shocked.
I know.
Yeah, really.
I know. I'm trying to this is so terrible. So terrible. I am being indecisive. Oh no. No, but mainly those 3. If I had to go with favorites, it'd be those 3. Because, like, I'm like that Pokemon because they're awesome companions, and then I would choose this NPC from this video game because he can do this, and he can heal awesomely. Companions in the world.
Can you choose a character from a D&D game that you played in? Like if you wrote your character, because then I would change.
That
Yes.
doesn't count.
Yeah, that doesn't really count, man.
Because all of my characters are OP and awesome, so I was like, if that counts,
Okay.
No.
take that.
Doesn't count.
Cheater. Don't
Chat
cheat.
says the dragon from
Well,
Breath
wait,
of
within the
Fire
rules, of course.
3 was cool.
From what?
Breath of Fire 3.
Yeah, I haven't played that game.
Grim also says he doesn't look like Mew. He looks like a.
Well, he looks like a fetus in the original Pokemon Green sprite. He does look like
Yeah.
a fetus, yeah.
That is
Now he
true.
just looks like a floaty cat with a big long tail.
Cute. So cute. Floaty cat. Floaty cat.
When you're playing, and I see Mew and Pokemon Snap, and I just throw stuff at him, hit him right in the face.
You know what also would be awesome? The cat wing dragon thing from Lunar. From PlayStation 1.
Oh, that's an old game.
That would be
That's old.
awesome. He turns into a dragon, plus he's a cat and he has wings. Companion.
I still throw pester balls at Mew just to see what happens.
Sigh.
You just
I sigh
throw 'em.
loudly at you.
And then he starts crying. He's like, "Why'd you take down my shield, asshole?"
Of course.
I'm like, "Because I wanted to take your picture. I need to physically harm you to take your picture. Otherwise, Professor Oak won't be happy."
Okay, so this is from much earlier in the chat. Guess what? Alex, do you
What?
need a hug? I feel like you need a hug. I'm just gonna virtually hug you for a second here. You just need hugged. You need cuddled and like snuzzled with.
Who said that?
Snuzzle.
Snuzzled.
Who said that? Is that you or?
No, the chat said that you needed a hug. I just added the rest of it.
Who do I thank?
Taz.
Both? I'll thank both of you. The chat for saying that, I guess, and Kat for actually taking, doing it virtually, of course, but
Virtually.
because someday we'll have hugs where you can hug someone on the other side of the world using internet technology. Right now, we gotta make do. So Kat gave me a cat internet hug, I guess. So
Yes.
thank you, Kat.
Awesome.
It would be really awkward if someone came in my room and was like, "What are you doing?"
It looks more like you're trying to claw the screen, just so you know.
Hug. All the way. Yeah, I'll hug.
No.
Hey, I did. Hey, that was your interpretation. That was you. I did not. She set me up. She frickin' set me up.
Oh, so Taz also says, what is his obsession with balls and Pokemon?
What? Pokeballs? Balls and Pokemon.
He likes throwing his balls around.
So does everyone who plays Pokemon. That's not anything new. I mean, fly as a raccoon, and it's not G-rated.
Oh.
If you know Anne, you will understand it, and you won't like it.
I actually don't... elaborate with us, please.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Well...
You're gonna have to now.
Well, I originally heard about this. There's anime that address it, and there's also my favorite manga, Shaman King, kind of addresses it. Tanukis were able to fly in Japanese mythology, and Tanukis are the raccoon dogs. They are able to fly by inflating their ball sacks and using them to float around. I'm not kidding. That is
Sounds about right.
That is how,
Yeah.
and that's why in a lot of old anime you see Tanukis with very large genitals, and that's how. And 3 when they like, okay, we need something that can fly. How about a cape? No, we'll do that later. Raccoon. Raccoons can't fly. Our raccoons can.
Oh dear.
So fun fact, that's how Tanukis can fly. It's so dumb.
Why,
It's
thank
so
you for that tidbit of knowledge there, because I actually did not know. I actually didn't know. I just thought it was just like something that Mario Brothers people actually just randomly.
Well,
came up with.
now you know, and now you will know it all the time.
Yeah. Once you can't unsee it.
Of course. Okay. Nice diversion. That's
Yep.
that's going in. That's going in the title.
Yeah,
We
it
have a
totally
list of
is.
things for the title now.
Raccoon balls? What?
Raccoon balls.
So, okay, so we have had
Would that-
dinosaur
would that-
porn, raccoon balls, Vegemite. Yeah.
And the first one was just the first one. So that
Yeah,
one
the
doesn't
first
count.
one was just the first one. So, yeah, we've had some very interesting
So we go from
topics.
dinosaur porn to raccoon balls. There's
Right.
like a theme starting to grow.
So guess what the next topic is?
What?
Star Trek versus Star Wars.
Star
Alex,
Trek.
start it.
Star Trek, because people talk about Star Wars way too much. But in all seriousness, I mean, my dad was always a Star Trek fan. In fact, the reason I know about Star Trek is because my dad was such a big fan of The Next Generation, and he likes the original series too. So I'm more familiar with Star Trek than Star Wars movies. Although Lucas is kind of he's a pretty bad story writer, as if the prequel trilogy was any indication of that. But a lot of the ideas that were in the first Star Wars, like Yoda is an obvious representation of Buddha. And then you see in the prequels he's jumping around and killing people with lightsabers, so you're like, so much for that. Star Trek was always kind of, it wasn't as fantastic. Aside from like the technology, there wasn't really a lot of the themes. Kind of took more realistic ideas, like learning about your crew. The characters always had this. Star Wars is okay, at least the first three, obviously. Not the prequels, because those. The problem with the prequels is they seemed like they were written by completely different people. Like Lucas had nothing to do with them. Which is kind of making me skeptical about whatever this next trilogy is going to be, now that Disney owns the rights to them.
Hopscotch and sharks.
Well,
yes.
Okay. Well, now I have to see it.
And pogo sticks. Pogo sticks and sharks.
Space Pogo are a little more personable. You get to know the characters a little bit better. But, each has their own merits. I just think that people talk about Star Wars all the time, and the mainstream.
Do you think also, based on that getting to know the characters better is the difference between having an ongoing TV movies?
Well, that's interesting. That's an interesting idea, because we have Star Wars TV shows. We have that Clone Wars show, and I know that there's rumors that they're going to make a television show in the Star Wars universe. But that's a good point, because the movies of Star Wars, people still sort of got to know the characters, even though they were only in 3 good movies. And Star Trek, sitcom-y, and how the characters, like Kirk's a bit of a pompous dick, and
a bit.
Yeah, and Spock is like, I'm all business. I don't laugh at anything, and I have pointy ears, but and the thing with Star Trek is there are also multiple universes. Like there's Enterprise, there's Deep Space Nine, there's Next Generation. But there's not as much of a universe to really make out of that, which is weird, because Star Wars has all these planets, all these different characters, all these different races, and the side characters are actually kind of interesting at times. So it's hard to say, because you're comparing two completely different mediums. Personally, I like Star Trek more, but I have no real dislike to Star Wars as a universe. They both have their strengths.
David, Star Trek or Star Wars?
I can't choose between the two. They're both just as important and great for me. One is more story element driven, and the other one's based around the characters and having in-depth things going on there. So it's two almost different genres, almost. You have, on one hand, one is completely driven by character and plots that happen around them, and without those characters, there just is no story. Whereas the other is a narrative unfolding before you. You're watching it because you want to see how this story happens. You know where it's going to be, even when you've watched it 1,000 times, but you still want to watch it because it's a good story. So, there you go.
If you had to choose one, though, which one would you rather sit and watch? If they were both on TV at the exact same time and you only had the choice to watch one, what would it be?
So, like choosing your favorite child.
Yes.
Do.
Well, it's difficult because there are so many episodes of Star Trek. Some of them really suck, and some of them are really awesome. Exactly what you're gonna get with Star Wars. So it's just like, what movie what mood am I in? I don't know. Is it a good episode on? I don't know.
It's the best of the best episode, and it's your absolute favorite movie for Star Wars.
I'd have to go with Star Trek then.
You'd have to go with Star Trek.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got 2 for Star Trek, and 0 for Star Wars so far. So Jeremy.
Yeah, what's your idea, Jeremy?
Yeah, I'll explain a little more than that. It's, again, not that I don't like Star Wars. If we're talking about the original 3 movies, I've seen all of Episode 2 or Episode 3 yet, because Episode 1 annoyed me so much. I wanted to strangle Jar Jar every single time he showed up.
It's bad. It's really bad.
My friends and I in college were writing a parody when it came out about it, and Jar Jar died in every scene. That was the running joke. Jar Jar kept getting killed.
Is that just like the running joke that
Well,
Jar Jar dies in every scene?
That was one of them.
That's good. I like that joke.
There were a lot of bad puns with names too. Star Trek I like just because, especially the Next Generation. That was probably my favorite one, and Deep Space Nine was probably a close second. I really liked in Deep Space Nine. I didn't like the series as much, but there were characters that I tuned in for. Next Generation, the story was... They were usually very well written. They took great steps to be scientifically accurate, which I'm a nerd, so that's important to me. But also, they taught a lot about acceptance and about confidence and various things. Where Gene Roddenberry was being interviewed about why they chose Patrick Stewart to be Captain Picard, because like, well, in the 24th century, won't they have a cure for baldness? And Roddenberry's response was, no, in the 24th century, no one will care. And it's that thing of, yeah, just accepting who you are. Which is funny because Patrick Stewart tells a story about how until he went bald at a very young age. And then when he was in, I think he was in his 20s or 30s, he had this really terrible comb over. And it took one of his friends, who was like a wrestling guy, to literally like hold him down while his wife cut it off. So just story, and it's just from that moment on he had a lot more confidence in himself because he wasn't, hiding from who he was. He was Patrick Stewart with the bald head. If you take a look at him Next Generation and now, he looks almost the freaking same. I really liked the writing. I really liked the story themes and the way it taught acceptance of different types of people, different types of ideals, different, said, I could also probably say that I liked Babylon 5 more than I did Star Wars. So I just like sci-fi in general.
Cry along 5.
She watched one episode, and the entire series was terrible. One episode out of 5 years, and she decides it's all bad.
The entire episode was them whining and crying, and I was just like, oh, are you kidding me?
Because you...
Oh my god. Okay.
How often have I offered you a piece of cheese when you've been gaming?
So... I hate this. I really hate this. I'm gonna go find a new set of hosts. I swear to God. I swear to God. The rest of you are gonna hate me.
It was those...
That one person throughout every frickin' stream where all 3 of you agree on the same thing, and I'm gonna be like, nope.
It's diversity. It's a good
Nope.
thing.
Okay.
You're the
I am
Yep.
token.
token girl, token Star Wars fan, token pretty graphics person.
In general, I'm just like the token. No, I'm kidding. So there's an in-depth reason why I do like the Star Wars series, and was like that's my generation. I'm young, okay, so I'm 24 years old.
How is Star Wars your generation?
Because
the movies came out before I was born.
When I was young, I was seeing the re-release of the first 3.
Yeah, the digitally enhanced and changed stuff.
Yeah, the digitally enhanced ones. When they were actually... Because one of my first movies was going to see Return of the Jedi with my father in theaters. And I had never seen Star Trek yet. I actually... Like, my mom used to watch Star Trek. And I would just be like, what's this? What's going on? It kind of like went over my head. Where I got the references of Star Wars a little bit more. And it's actually not based on the movies that has me like Star Trek, it's because I read the books. And pertaining to actually
The books are good.
one book series, which were Apprentice books, which they were like this thin. Like you could in an hour breeze through them. I mean, they were like this thin. So a lot of that was like, it goes through the entire Jedi Academy, and it goes through like what it means to become a Jedi. And a lot of it is like Alex said, you have references to people being Buddhist, like the quell your anger, like calm yourself, meditation, like know thy enemy, but like know him.
Lucas didn't try to hide it at all.
No way.
It's not his thing.
It really got to me as a kid, because like reading through them, I'm like, I learned like kind of anger control being a kid. I did have a rough childhood, and particularly one scene where Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi are on an island and they're trying to help these people, and Qui-Gon Jinn gets attacked by these like pterodactyls while he's going up the cliffside, and he's in recovery. They're talking about like his recovery and how he needs to calm himself, and that the pain is just him understanding, and him feeling pain is part of the recovery, and how he needs to suppress that, like, really just that urge to be like lash out because he was hurt. He just kind of like sat quietly and kind of listened to what his body was telling him. And actually, that was one of the biggest things that kind of followed me through life, was that particular scene. Because a lot of times, like, being female, every month I go through that where I'm just like, I need to just calm down. I need to go sleep. I need to go rest. Like, I sit there and I listen, and I'm like, okay, so it would be a situation where I read that somewhere else first. Like, if I perhaps picked up like a Buddhist, like, Star Wars, I probably would have been like, meh, whatever. Like, Star Wars is just a fantasy series, whatever. But actually, like, reading that, it really did like touch base a lot better than me watching Star Trek, where I don't get a lot of the references. A lot of the episodes, honestly, have been boring to me, because there's a lot of characters in there that I don't like find myself interested in, but they go into like really long episodes about these characters, and I'm just like, I can understand it being like completely character driven, but me being like that 24-year-old girl didn't find a character to latch onto, and it became not really that appealing to me. Star Wars, I liked Obi-Wan Kenobi, him going through his training. I loved Luke Skywalker and his journey through figuring out his training. Like, I just wanted that epic training monologue, or montage. Monologue's what I'm doing right now.
Yes.
But yeah, so like, I think it really just tailored itself to younger generations and younger kids than what Star Trek did. Because Star Trek really did, to me, seem more like an adult series. Now, growing up and going back and rewatching Star Trek, I have a greater appreciation for it. And I think that's like one of those things, though, like which I watched first and which kind of triggered more of a reaction. Chat has said, and Star Trek had better men. Do you guys find this to be true or false?
There was only one woman in the original Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know, and then Star Trek.
Based on quantity alone, yeah. But
yeah, I mean,
I personally have trouble thinking of that there are better female characters in the Star Wars, or at least out of the characters that usually get the most screen time. I know as Star Wars kind of continued, Leia became a more involved character. She did a lot more. But in the first one, it was very damsel, and that's hard. It's hard for me to call a damsel, your stereotypical female in distress, a good character. It just seems.
Might I interlude that they might also be talking about episode 1? If you think of Queen Amidala, she was a very powerful character to start with.
Yeah, at first, as the prequels went on, that whole romantic deal really just got too much. But at the beginning, I'll admit that in the
See,
you hated admitting
even
that, didn't
then, well, see, even then, though, you're saying one people that were strong through all the different Star Trek series just because you've got so many of them.
Well, that's
you've
why I'm
got to talk
asking
about
true
one
or
series
false.
with.
You've got to talk about, like, T'Pol, Jetpacks. I didn't really like Ezri as much, but, I also had a crush on Terry Farrell when I was that age, so, that probably had something to do with it. But the Dax character was a very deep, very powerful character that had a huge backstory and a lot of depth to it. You had Janeway in charge of the whole starship. Now, granted, Voyager was terrible for the first couple seasons, in my opinion, but it got better later. You had Seven of Nine's story. You had... there were certain points where either Troy or Dr. Crusher's story became very involved and very in-depth. There wasn't too much in the original series, but you also have to remember when it was. And for that time period, there was a lot of groundbreaking in terms of gender roles, and it was... I don't see how you can say that the two main female characters I can come up with for Star Wars are strong.
I honestly think I just think that both universes could be better on that.
Mm-hmm.
There is room for
and
improvement.
Like I said,
room for improvement everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, that did start to happen as you went into the later Star Trek series.
Right.
But again, it started. What year was the first Star Trek? It was sometime in the '60s, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
And that's when, what Laura and Kirk kiss in one of the episodes, and that was the first time something like that had happened on screen.
Yeah, I definitely think that. So, it has to do with sort of the television wasn't a huge medium yet.
Mm-hmm.
People were still sort of uncomfortable with the whole I Love Lucy deal when you have a pregnant female on something like that. So I definitely agree. I definitely agree with you, Jeremy, that it was young. I mean, when it was recorded, the original Star Trek, people that sort of dynamic and on the air. Of course, nowadays, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you're also talking about the time period where there was a rule that if a guy was in a bedroom with there were silly rules like that for the longest time. Now, I do have a question for you, Kat. Did you ever read any of these Star Trek books? Because most of what you seem to like about the Star Wars universe didn't seem to be the movies, shows, but the books.
I actually haven't read any of the Star Trek books, but I'm thinking here with that whole better women thing. I actually agree with you guys, though. From watching the episodes that I have of Star Trek and knowing what I do of Star Trek, I honestly, as a kid, and thinking about it right now, I never wanted to play Princess Leia. I never wanted to be Distract. I wanted to play Luke. I wanted to play the strong character who was I will overcome everything. I didn't want to play Padme, because with Anakin it was just it became that Jack and thing from Titanic. I will never let you go, dude.
Yeah, that got bad in episode 3. Episode 3 is where you're okay, we get it.
They turned Darth Vader into a freaking emo kid.
That's just bad filmmaking. That you can't. You just can't.
But yeah, like I do think though that Star Trek portrayed a stronger image for women. And this is not me playing the feminist role or anything. It literally, though, when you look at there's two main female characters in which you're given, you get one who ends up in a slave costume. Really? You get another one, which by the start of it, she's like, I will never compromise. And then she's like, I'll do anything for you, Anakin. And then, yeah. So, holding your ground there, woman. Really. Where you get, like, the other characters where, what's the one woman who in love with Worf?
Which one?
They went to the Pleasure Island.
That was probably Dax.
Yes.
Spots.
Yeah. Dax.
Jadzia Dax was one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, like seeing the episodes I did, she was to deal with a character like Worf though, like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, you were talking about learning to control your anger. If you watch Worf's progression from when he started in the series to where he ends up, he went through a huge character arc. Funny because the only reason he ended up being such a big character was because the person who Denise Crosby, who played the security chief when they first started, decided she wanted to show early on. So they had to write her out, and they ended up writing him in. And originally he was a small enough part that they had told him just to develop his own character. Just to run with it. And I don't know, I've met Michael Dorn once, and it is like when he is Worf and what he is like when he is not. Because he is a giant goofball and a teddy bear, and it's just hilarious. And it's funny because apparently his voice is now actually his voice.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool because his role is with him forever now.
Even though a lot of people probably wouldn't recognize him without the makeup on. They just.
I'm sure I could, and I'm sure I'm not alone in that because that's disorienting when you see something like that. It's like the guy who plays Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund. When you see him without his makeup, you see it over time, but when you first show, like, I don't see it, and then you see it, and you can't unsee it. Yeah.
Dax was definitely one of my favorite characters. Her and Odo were two of the main reasons I tuned into Deep Space Nine every week.
Well,
so before we leave the topic, I was going to say, you could add in one more of the Star series, Stargate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if that was a choice, that would win every time for me. Just, yep. And probably Atlantis on top of all of those. For me, it's my personal choice, because it's what we would totally do if we were out there doing that sort of shit. So we would do that. Put our values on everybody else and be like, yeah, this is our place now. You can bug off. Yeah.
While bitching about how somebody else was doing the same thing.
If we're losing, that's up to be determined, but we would still do it.
Did I just accidentally?
But that's the human condition in a nutshell.
Yeah. I can see that. I think really the first Stargate movie I watched in health class.
Interesting pick.
So I don't know why, but one day we had what was like we were in high school. Keep this in mind, and we had like a quiet day that they were like, we're just gonna put on a movie, and you can sit here and watch this movie, and it's a really good movie. And that was my first introduction to watching Stargate in health class.
Kat, have you seen episodes of The Blacklist?
No.
Okay, because the guy who's the lead in that is the one who was playing Daniel Jackson in that first Stargate movie.
Really?
And he's a complete sociopath in this one, and it's hilarious to watch the difference.
I might actually watch Blacklist now.
It's kind of like you will never look at The Matrix.
Oh dear God.
question
What?
to which Jackson, because they redid the first Star Trek movie, so like which first one? The original first one or like the remade one with all the new cast?
A Stargate?
Because they redid the movie like scene for scene just with like the new cast instead of the
I was talking
previous
about the
cast.
original one.
Yeah.
I didn't even
Okay.
know they'd done
Cool.
that.
Good to know.
So, unfortunately, this is going to have to wrap up this episode of /chat podcast. And it's actually kind of funny. I have to look over to the screen right next to me, and it has the title /chat for me to actually not say /. I have to read it off the other screen, letting you know. Still getting used to it. So, if we want to do our farewells and last comments, we're gonna go with Alex. If not, just say your farewell. Wait.
Thanks for watching, folks. I have stuff on hardcoregamer.com, and you can go see stuff there. I don't know what I'm gonna write about this week. Maybe like I have 2 reviews already, and I'm gonna be writing a preview soon. So I'm just trying to think of something big to talk about. Maybe like digital rentals or something. I am like Post Mesmeric on the Twitter, Post Mesmeric on the everywhere. I'm trying to get streaming going again, but that's not really top priority. It's really just capturing footage and making stupid videos for my YouTube channel, which is Post Mesmeric, and what I was trying to think of before. That's me. Don't be strangers. David.
Okay. Give me a second to like dim the lights a little. Okay, so I'm Cardinal. You can find me pretty much everywhere under that name. YouTube, it's Cardinal. Twitch TV, some random stole my name. Still angry about that. Every game I play, Cardinal. So feel free to stop by I've got gameplay stuff, South Park Stick of Truth, the recent one going on there at the moment. Obscenely fun game. Thanks for supporting everybody here, and I'll see you next time. Next person.
Jeremy.
I don't exist on the internet except for here, so you can't really find me anywhere except on Almirmail's, Minecraft server. I'm on there, and I make no apologies for that.
AKA too cool for social media.
Yep, that's the thing.
You kids and your
Too cool for this
newfangled,
goal.
you kids and your newfangled stuff.
Fangled light boxes.
By my day, we had to program our own game. I'm only kind of kidding.
And you had
Anyway.
to program them in the snow with a stick.
We had to pedal a bicycle to
Hard C++ is when you're using snow on a stick. I don't even have like my processor can't handle this snow coating.
C++. What are you talking about? It was basic. Visual Basic and Basic. What was it, 6.0 or something? I don't know. I still remember when MS-DOS was the only thing.
Well,
But enjoy. Have a good week. Sorry.
and I, of course,
Internets.
am Almirmiel Cat, and you can find /Almirmiel on YouTube at Power Button, which the links are again written down here. Oh, I will scratch the itch of the links down there. Also, this is my logo, so if you find this anywhere, which is the power button with cat ears, that is probably most likely me, and I'm the only Almirmiel on the internet. So check those out, check these guys out. All of their links, like I said, are down listed below as well, minus Jeremy, who is too cool for social media. So this has been another episode, and we shall see you guys again next week at Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, right here. I'll see you guys again next week. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Play more
Bye-bye.
games.